I was talking about in 2017 when Googlies register as God in America. And when they launch their blockchain, I think, but basically cryptocurrency, when cryptocurrency became, when they sent the crypto pimps out, right? It was the beginning of 2017, I think. When they sent the crypto pimps out, it had to be because, see, what the Googlies did with registering that God, the techno God, right? This is what give them as a corporation um, right to the human divine DNA. This is why they want to stick that thing in you so it can take over your DNA. So, because they basically patented it, that's why they had to register, because they patented human DNA, okay, in America, which is what? Fully unconstitutional. Because the freedom of the soul, and this is again, comes back to the freedoms of the soul that ultimately the Constitution is protecting. It's the freedom of the soul to express itself as God given, as that quintessence, as that God source within. This is what it means when people say that America was built on Christian principles, on the original Christianity, just like Jesus said, the temple within. So what did they do? They brought in, what is that in Utah? What is that church? Mormons. So Mormons, you guys, I don't see any live chat, you guys. There's nothing coming. So that's why so Mormons actually, what I'm saying, they're unconstitutional because they're abusing children. Okay. And so is most of the government registered Christians. They're unconstitutional. Okay. Because they abuse children. They're antichrist spirit. And so what do you think is going to happen in America? Where did you think antichrist is going to go in end times? Where do you think it was going to happen? Where do you see church on every corner flashing? We're going to save you. Where do you see those with their little bag for money, with their bag and money on every corner? Where is it? In the antichrist religion, right? Because in antichrist religion, drinking blood is what gives you salvation. Is that where Jesus taught you? That your salvation lies in drinking innocent children's blood? Christians, right. Right. And then they babble. That's the possession. Okay. All of this babbling and all of that stuff. So when you know who you are, and this is very easy, and I'm going to show you because recently, you guys, there was one of these people, and so people say, Lily, but how come you bring up these people? Why can't you move on and say, okay, leave these people behind, let them drain in the swamp in their fears and everything. But see, this is the draconian law talks. Because draconian law does not consider an innocent child a God's child. That's why in church, they'll teach you that you're sinful because you gotta You've committed a sin just to be born. So, see, so the abusers of the children will come to me because they've accepted that. They'll come to me and they'll say, Lily, just leave them to be. Leave them to be. Did Jesus come in here and say, oh, I'm just going to leave them to be? Or did he go into that church where they're begging for money and selling salvation to people? And what did he do? Kicked some tables when he was 12. Okay. So please, people, stop begging me to stop speaking truth. I will not stop standing up for the innocence and revealing that it has been abused in every form. But some of them, like I posted you guys, for example, a great example of this mentally ill out there that have accepted abuse of children and just telling the fairy tale stories to other people to keep them blind so nobody ever figures out that for all this time they've been protecting this abuse of children and been working to hold up that system with all of their salvation programs that they're running. So I posted for you guys in Wild Wisdom Warriors a great example of someone out there who is completely clueless of what eternity even is. And that's Lori Ladd, right? Ladd, Lori Ladd. And the reason I've posted it is because I wanted to show you guys. It's a 5 minutes, just take 5 minutes and you will see what's happening in that video. And this is what you will see this so much. And a lot of this, what I'm getting at, a lot of this too, we're going to have to educate people on how the tricksters work. And it's like I talked in the past about that. How do you reveal truth when you stand in truth and you know that innocents are being abused? And then you look at somebody like Lori Ladd out there doing their tricks to cover for the tracks of Stupido Club. You know, the Stupido Club, leave it alone, Lily. We're just gonna keep on with our lies so that 1,000 children a day can keep disappearing. Right, Lori Ladd? I wonder, Lori, how about you ask your higher beings that talk to you and tell humanity that we need to ascend? Lori Ladd. Listen, Lori, Lori, since you talk to higher beings, ask them, why are those higher beings have never talked to you about what happens to 1,000 children a day disappearing in America? What happens to those children? Lori Ladd, can you higher beings tell us what is happening to 1,000 children a day missing in America, just in America? Where do they go? Hey, higher beings, where do our children go? What happens to them? What happens to our children, Lori? Can you ask your higher beings that? Or you can only ask your higher beings about how to lie to your followers. So this is what Lori Ladd does. Okay. This is what most of those MK altered, moralless, zero integrity, zero respect for life, disgusting. So here they are, the specialist. This is what they teach. They say, hey, I'm Lori Ladd. I know reality. Hey, you guys, my higher beings told me the water is in this glass. And then my higher beings said, see, but you human beings, you're all empty. And I am here, Lori Ladd. I'm talking to aliens. Used to be aliens. Now it's higher self beings. Used to be aliens, but now, oops, aliens turns out to be pedophiles. So, So she didn't want to talk to pedophiles anymore, apparently. So she started talking to higher self. When it turned out that aliens are pedophiles. So Lori's still saying, here, everyone, I am full. I have information. I have alien pedophiles telling me what humanity need to do to ascend. So I'm going to give you information. Because see, I am so good to you. I'm going to share it. I'm going to share it. But you here, you got to follow it because you got to go into this class. Right? So in Ukrainian, this is what this whole thing, like babushkas, a long time ago, 200 years ago, they had a little small saying. It's called "З пустого в порожнє." Okay? 3 words. But it's going to take me half hour to explain this. This wisdom of babushkas. Okay, "З пустого в порожнє." So here's Lori Ladd. Here's the viewers. Here's the listeners. They're empty. They're hungry for information because they ain't got one. They're empty, right? Because Lori Ladd's got her pedophile aliens that are giving her information, right? So she's going to spread the love of aliens and tell humanity. Oh, kind of wanted to do half and half. So here's Lori Ladd, solution for humanity. I was empty. I got filled by pedophile, higher self, alien beings. I'm going to spread now some of that energy into you. You take that on, and you all think you're ascending. You're all ascending now. You've received my alien Kool-Aid, right? Sometimes, because that's all Lori's got is alien Kool-Aid, but when she does that, Lori needs another video. So Lori said, ooh, I give you some ascension techniques here, right? So Lori comes the next day, and Lori said, but I've got more alien Kool-Aid. So here's listeners, here's some more Kool-Aid. Ooh, I give you all the Kool-Aid, all the messages. Ooh, just make sure you, and here's the magic, sort of black magic comes in. And so the entity actually that possesses, it says, and now, all of you people, now, drink the Kool-Aid, but now you owe me back that energy. So now you got to give me life force. You got to give me your living force. You got to believe that I am a living being. And so then everyone that listens to Lori Ladd spreading her Kool-Aid so willingly, right, then has to come back and give some of that life force, their life force of living waters, back to empty Lori. Because remember, Lori is empty. It's all alien Kool-Aid that she's getting, right? It's the insiders that giving her information. It's that, And so this is what Lori does to drain human consciousness and keep it in this. And then Lori gives some, and then that goes to aliens. Aliens take the life force, take the beliefs of human beings. The human beings are admiring and all of that stuff. And off we go. Spusto porozhnya. And this is what I say. Sometimes people come in and they only have ability or capability. Like I said, they haven't developed their own shamanic abilities to recognize their own true self. So they will say, oh, is that, which one am I? Am I the fool like Lori, or am I an empty glass? And they only see this process as half empty, half full. And then when I say something about that, the eternity is missing in your platform, Lori. Where's the eternity here? And where's the divine mother standing up for the innocent children? Oh, it's non-existent because aliens they have no clue that 1,000 children a day missing just in America. They're clueless aliens. They don't understand. So see, this is the process that they take you through, and they suck and suck and suck. Because this is the thing. It all begins from Lori becoming this succubus, believing that she's empty first, because then she got filled with higher beings' messages, right? But if she tells you that she receives messages from higher beings, that means she herself is not connected. So she's an empty glass. And so now she's got this, and she's just gonna pour it. Is she gonna get filled up when all she gets is poured Kool-Aid into people, and so that changes like air and like oxygen, right? So when a human being then produces Kool-Aid or food, energetic food for the aliens, and so this is what triggers them, is that alien Kool-Aid that Lori is spreading around. And you will see this master slaves that they all been lobotomized to be that way. So they're genetically, and this is why I say, because the genetics, stolen genetics, and so this is a genetic augmentation. It's a DNA augmentation, and so that's why what you hear about what they want to do under that, they feel the right now to Americans because they patented our DNA. So, and this is what it was about. So it's unconstitutional. So at one point, this is what Americans are going to wake up to. And this is what when I was telling you, the Googlies will go space dust. Because you remember, you guys, that guy from Googlies, he came to set me up with Lisa Harrison. What's his name? Jeff Gates. Googlies. Stupedo Club. Okay, there is other physical things that I'll tell you guys about how to recognize when somebody is actually. So those people wanted that reality, and they were going to do it through that, because I told you, that's their reality. But it won't happen because we know that it won't happen. So anyway, when somebody is empty, they're not standing in eternity, then all of this, like I said, their noodles are that. They're going to be hanging on to those noodles. But the thing is that the human being, then, and this is what I said, that divine mother is only awakened through the recognition of that ultimate sort of higher mission that many of us have here is because we have to be the living witnesses of the innocence that does not have a voice and did not have a voice in the past. And so right now we are it. We are the expression of our ancestors. And our ancestors have been sacrificed. And our ancestors have been, their children been drained of their blood. And that is happening right now, today. And so the clowns out there that have accepted this reality and serve the Antichrist will yell and scream. And they will scream what? Judgment! Oh, don't judge us! That's what they were going to scream. But when you truly awaken, you're not going to sit there and say, oh, I awaken. I forged my sword. Like last time I said, I forged my sword just so I can look at it and be proud of myself. No. Here it comes. The hardest, but yet it is the step that will free. This is the redemption, is accepting the responsibility and wielding that power for the innocence, being that living witness. That's what ultimately, I think, a path to knowing the self is, and the continuation and the sort of the nature. The nature within us, that's that quintessence, and that's the nature, the divine nature of human being, then in expression is what that warrior stand is ultimately. So I don't know why my changes